My fiancé refused to sign the prenup, calling it an insult. I calmly canceled the wedding and posted it publicly. The next morning, her dad was at my door. I built my entire business from nothing over a decade. 10 years of exhausting 18-hour days, living in my car to save money, eating nothing but ramen while I reinvested every penny back into growth. By 32, I had built a company worth 8 figures, and I had zero desire to risk any of it for anyone, regardless of how much I loved them. When I proposed to Gianna after 2 years of dating, I was completely upfront about the prenuptial agreement requirement. I need to protect what I built before we met, I explained clearly. This isn't about not trusting you. This is about being realistic. Half of all marriages end in divorce, and I've worked too hard to gamble everything. She said she understood my position completely, and it wouldn't be a problem at all. 6 months later, exactly 2 weeks before the wedding, I handed her the actual legal document to sign. She read through it for 30 seconds before throwing it violently across the table. "This is completely insulting," she said with venom. "You're already planning for our failure before we even start. If you really loved me the way you claim, you wouldn't need some legal paper protecting you from me." I stayed calm, even though my heart was racing. "I do love you genuinely. I also love the decade of work that built this company. I'm not willing to gamble it for anyone." She started crying dramatically. "I can't believe you're doing this right before our wedding. Everyone has bought plane tickets and booked hotels. My dress is ready. You're humiliating me in front of everyone we know. I've been clear about this requirement from the beginning. You said you understood and accepted it. I thought you'd change your mind eventually. I thought once you really loved me, you'd trust me enough." We argued back and forth for 2 exhausting hours. She refused to sign under any circumstances. I asked if this was truly her final answer, and she said yes, emphatically. So I pulled out my phone and started making calls right in front of her. I called the venue coordinator and canceled everything. I called the expensive caterer and canceled. I called every vendor on our list, while she sat in shock watching me systematically dismantle our entire wedding piece by piece. "What exactly do you think you're doing?" she screamed. "You told me the prenup was non-negotiable. You refused to sign, so logically there's no wedding." Then I posted a statement on social media explaining the wedding was canceled due to irreconcilable differences regarding financial expectations. I didn't mention the prenup specifically, but anyone who knew us understood what happened. Gianna completely lost her composure. She called me every terrible name imaginable. She threw decorative items around the room. She said I deliberately embarrassed her in front of everyone. Then she stormed out. The next morning at 7 a.m., there was loud pounding on my door. Her father stood there looking like he hadn't slept. "We need to talk right now," he said seriously. I let him inside expecting angry threats or accusations. Instead, he sat down heavily at my kitchen table and said quietly, "I actually owe you an apology." I stared at him in confusion. Gianna has always been extremely entitled. Her mother and I spoiled her terribly growing up, and I think we ruined her. She told us about the prenup and expected us to take her side, but I wasn't willing to. I told her she was being ridiculous, that any man who built what you built from nothing would be stupid not to protect it legally. He looked exhausted. "She didn't tell you that part, did she? That I actually agreed with your position entirely?" I shook my head slowly. "She's been telling everyone you blindsided her, that you never mentioned any prenup until the last minute as a trap. I know that's not true because we discussed this months ago when you asked for my blessing." He pulled out his phone and showed me text messages to Gianna from 6 months ago. Him telling her to just sign the prenup, her responding that she'd change my mind eventually, him warning her this would blow up badly. "I wanted you to know the truth," he said sincerely. "You did the right thing here. I'm sorry my daughter turned out this way." He left quietly. Gianna has been texting constantly saying she's ready to sign now, that she made a terrible mistake. I haven't responded once. Some moments reveal everything you need to know about a person's character.